Good evening, yogis. My name is Daniel. This is Daniel Lee Yoga. Thank you for joining me for practice today. Today is Wednesday, so we have a level 1 focus class. This will be a 60-minute Vinyasa class. And this week we've been working on opening up our shoulders and our chest. One of my favorite places to just kind of work on. That's where I keep a lot of my stress. And so going through these practices, it really helps me to open things up, release some of that stress, strengthen things up as well, and just get a good little stretch in. So we started with our fundamentals on Monday. We're just going to build off of that in our level 1. So even if you're a beginner, you'll still be at home here. I'll provide some modifications along the way, but we will definitely ramp up some of the poses, and I'm excited to get into it today. Today I'm feeling a little more dynamic, so I'm feeling like moving a little bit more, so I'm going to incorporate that a little bit into practice, but we will have some nice holds along the way where we can really deepen and open up our chest and our shoulders. That is the goal for today. As far as prompts, if you have a couple blocks, you can keep them handy. Nothing too planned with them, so don't worry if you don't have them. Don't feel like you got to search for something. Just sometimes helps deepen your practice. So place those up at the top of your mat for now. We'll come back to those later. And today we will get started on our backs. So I think we're all ready to go. So meet me on your back with your knees slightly bent, feet on the floor. Can't believe it's already halfway through July 15th, I think, today. Seemed like just a minute ago we were halfway through the year. Now we're halfway through July. Days are rolling on. All right, let's try to settle in. So, with your knees bent, feet on the mat, arms down to the side, palms face up. Try to settle that navel down. Just let your back be heavy, let your shoulders be heavy. Just settle in for practice with some nice deep breaths. So maybe start to transition your inhales to just in through your nose and releasing out through your nose. By breathing slowly through your nose, that allows you to kind of constrict and reduce the volume of breath. You can inhale and exhale all at once, allowing you to kind of prolong your breathing, stretch it out a little more. Just as important to exercise our breath, working on that, as it is our body and our mind. Just keep taking some nice deep inhales and exhales as you settle in. Just bring your awareness to this present moment. We'll be here for the next hour of practice. You're here for no one else but yourself. You can release any attachment you had over earlier in the day. Forget about whatever you have planned for the rest of today or the week. Just be present here. Take 2 more nice deep breaths. And 1 more here. Okay, you can open your eyes if they were closed and begin to bend your knees and send them in toward your chest. Wrap your hands around your knees. You can also wrap your hands around your thighs. We'll gently rock from side to side, just beginning to massage that low back. Just keep rocking from side to side a couple times here. And come back to stillness. We begin to warm up the legs now. So keep the right knee hugged in towards your chest. Extend that left leg out. We'll switch immediately. So draw the left knee in and re-extend that right leg out. So we'll begin switching on the breath. So inhale, draw the right knee in, extend the left leg out. Exhale, draw the left knee in, extend the right leg out. So keep going on your breath, keeping both feet flexed the entire time so those toes point up towards the ceiling. You can either graze the floor with that heel as you extend, or you can keep it up off the mat. But as you're drawing one knee in towards your chest, you're extending that heel away from your body. And again, move on your breath, so you may be going a little bit slower, a little bit faster than me. And just be very intentional with your movements here. Now we're going to keep moving. We're not going to stop here. But the next time one of your knees comes in towards your chest, you're going to straighten that knee. So straighten the knee and just gently grab behind the right thigh and then switch the legs. So now your legs are staying straight the entire time. So you'll inhale as you draw one leg up towards the sky. Exhale as you release, draw the other one in. So you can give a gentle squeeze from the back of the thigh to help you draw it in a little bit closer towards your chest. Start hugging that navel in and down to really start to engage the core here. And keep flexing those feet. Spinning those inner thighs in and down, trying to keep the knees square, toes pointed up towards the ceiling when that leg is down. Now, keep those legs moving. If this is a little too much for you, you can re-bend the knee and do what we were doing before. Otherwise, keep those legs moving, and we'll extend the arms overhead. Keep them stable for now. So arms are overhead, palms face each other, down on the mat, and we're just working the legs here. Again, if this is too much, you can bend the knees and go back to what we were doing. But now we'll add the arms. So the next time your right leg is up in the air, raise that right arm up. And then when you switch, raise the left arm up, right arm comes down. So you have both sides in the air, right arm, right leg up, and then left leg, left arm up. So keep going back and forth here. Again, keep hugging that navel in and down, reducing that arch in your spine. Let's do 2 more times each side. We're almost finished here, don't worry. One more each side. And then you can finish by gently hugging your knees back in towards your chest. You have a gentle little squeeze. All right. Now hold behind your thighs and rock up and down your spine a couple times if you like to do that. We're coming up to a cross-legged seat. So after you've rolled up and down a couple times, you can cross your legs, roll up into a seat, or you can just let your knees fall off to the side and meet us all in a nice seated pose. So your heels are underneath your knees. Sit bones are rooted. If you ever have issues staying up straight here in your seat, you can always sit up on a block or a blanket or roll up your mat. We'll just continue warming up the arms here, the shoulders and whatnot, because that's our focus for today. We've got a lot of fun things planned. All right, so make sure you're nice and comfortable to start. Place your palms on top of your knees. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. Now release the arms down to the sides, palms down. Turn the palms up. Inhale as you raise the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, turn the palms out and release the arms down to the sides. So we inhale, palms out and up, face each other overhead. Exhale, palms turn away, release them down. Do 2 more times on your breath. Notice when your arms come up, are your shoulders coming with you? Try to keep them down and softened. 1 more time here. And then bring the arms back up overhead. Release them back down through the center and down to the sides. All right, let's revisit our internal and external rotation of our arms. So begin by extending both arms out, shoulder height, palms face down. This is our neutral position. So to internally rotate the entire arm from that shoulder socket, we'll let the thumbs drop, the pinkies come up towards the ceiling, and then the palms face back. This is our internal rotation. Now gently release back to neutral, and we'll reverse. External, thumbs come up, pinkies face down, palms face forward. Maybe you can go a little bit farther, palms face up, and then gently release back to neutral. Let's do that one more time, each side. Internally rotate. Try to move the entire arm from that shoulder socket, thumbs down, pinkies up. Gently release back down to neutral. And then external rotation, pinkies down, thumbs up. Maybe the palms start to point up. Now gently release that. Release your arms down to the sides. Take an inhale and exhale. Arms back up to shoulder height. Externally rotate so the palms face forward. Stop there. Bend the elbows. Keep the palms facing forward. You're in a field goal post here. Start to draw the shoulders back. You're really starting to open up the chest here. So drawing the shoulders towards each other. Now make sure you hug that navel in and back to reduce that arch in your spine, just like when we were on our backs. So inhale is here, and exhale will twist to the right from the navel up. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale to the left. 2 more times on your breath. Making sure those arms are staying up at shoulder height and you're drawing the backs of the shoulder blades together. One more time here. And meet me back to center. Bring both arms up overhead. Exhale, release them down through the center and down to the sides. Now go ahead and switch the clasp of your legs, so whichever leg is in top, or in front I should say, just switch it up. Try and even things out here. Might feel a little different. Get nice and rooted, place your palms on top of your knees, take a nice deep inhale, and exhale. All right, we'll do a fun little challenge here. This is kind of a mind game as much as it is a physical game. So extend both arms out shoulder height, palms face down is our neutral. Now we'll externally rotate the right arm. So that means the thumb comes up, pinky down, maybe the palm faces up. Opposite arm, left arm, will internally rotate, thumb down, pinky up. Now keep both arms straight, release the left arm down so the thumb contacts the ground. And then inhale the right arm up overhead. Keep that external rotation. Now gently release back down to neutral, both arms to shoulder height and both palms down. Now we'll reverse that. So now we'll externally rotate this left arm, internally rotate the right arm, thumb down, pinky up. Then release that right arm down to the mat, keep the arm straight, and raise that left arm up overhead, keeping that external rotation. All right, now release both back down to neutral, and here we go. This is where it gets a little fun. So we're going to make this dynamic. We're going to keep moving here. So begin by externally rotating the right arm, internally rotating the left arm, and we start to move. So inhale as you bring the right arm up, left arm down. And now exhale as you come down through, then you switch. So we'll externally rotate the left arm, right arm internally rotates to release that down. Keep going on your breath. So we externally rotate one arm, internally rotate the other. The externally rotated arm comes up overhead. The internally rotated arm comes down below. So keep going, trying to keep your arm as straight as you can. If you tend to hyperextend, you can have a slight bend in that elbow. Again, we're really trying to isolate the movement at the shoulder here. Okay, if you thought this was tough enough, we're going to add a little bit onto it. We're going to start to bend the elbows. So the next time your arm, whichever arm is up high, bend that elbow, back of the hand comes to the neck, and the bottom arm, bend that elbow, back of the hand comes to that lower back. I should say palm of that top hand comes to the lower neck. Now we re-extend both arms out. As we come through center, we externally rotate the top arm, internally rotate the bottom, bend both elbows so the back of the bottom arm comes to the low back and the palm of the top arm comes to the top of the neck. So keep going, try and go on your breath now. So you come through center, top arm externally rotates, bottom arm internally, back of the lower hand comes to the lower back, palm of the top hand to the neck. Keep going as you switch. So we're going through kind of our Gomukhasana, cow face pose with our arms here. So you may have done this pose before where you either grab a strap between both arms or maybe you can grab your fingers. So don't worry about making contact behind your back. Again, just try and focus on that rotation at the shoulders. Really good way to just start opening them up. Let's do one more each way. And just gently release both arms out to the side. Inhale them up overhead and exhale, release them down through center and down to the sides. All right, are you more relieved that we're finished with that, or do you want to keep going? That one can be a little controversial. We'll come forward into tabletop. So you can either come forward over your knees or send your knees off to the side. Inner tabletop, wrists are below the shoulders, knees are below the hips, tops of the feet to the mat. Looking for these nice 90-degree angles here. Fingers are nice and spread. Pressing down to the base of each finger and each palm, let's add our cow cats. So we inhale as we drop the navel, tailbone lifts, heart comes forward, look up. Exhale, round the back, shoulders separate, head hangs heavy, cat pose. Inhale, into your cow. Exhale, rounding into your cat. Two more times on your breath. Inhaling, drop the navel, tailbone lifts, heart forward. Exhale, round into your cat. One more here. And after you finish that final cat, meet me back down in a nice neutral position. So we'll work the internal and external rotation of the shoulders here as well. So really take note of your elbow creases here and notice just how do they fall? Where do they actually face? Maybe they face more towards the front, maybe they face more towards the inside, or maybe they actually face towards the back. I want you to start just kind of moving your shoulders around so that your arms start to rotate and those elbow creases either face in towards each other or towards the back, or maybe they start to face towards the front of the mat. So just kind of play around with that a little bit. You're gently applying pressure into the mat with your palms. You're keeping your shoulders square, but you're just starting to move your arms. And so notice that when the elbow creases start to face forward, that's our external rotation. And then when we internally rotate, our elbows start to face back. I'll tell you right now, in almost all the poses in yoga, at least most of the ones that I know of, what we're going for is our external rotation. Why is that? That's because it creates more space in our shoulders. So if you're ever confused, if you're ever in your down dog, we'll be there today. If you're in any pose with your arms are overhead, that external rotation is what we're most likely looking for. So that can just be a little thing you can remember in the back of your mind. Okay, from here, we're going to add some twists. So extend that right arm out, shoulder height, palm faces down. Inhale as you lift the right arm up to the sky, adding a twist. Exhale, release and thread the needle. Send that right arm under and through, right palm up. Stay up though. We'll inhale as we raise that right arm back up to the sky. And exhale, send that right arm through. So two more times. Inhale, right arm up. Exhale, release through. Inhale, arm up. And exhale, release through. Inhale that arm back up. And exhale, release back down into your tabletop. We'll switch to the other side. So this time, left arm out to the side, left palm down. We'll inhale as we lift that arm up to the sky. Exhale, release it under, left palm up, send it through. Left shoulder lowers. Inhale, raise that left arm to the sky. Exhale, release under. Two more times. Inhale up. And exhale, release. Inhale up. And exhale, release. Inhale that left arm up one more time. And then release back down into your tabletop. Okay, now we'll add a little something. So start in your tabletop and then send your right arm forward, come up on your right fingertips so that your right arm is straight. Everything still stays just as it is. And then curl your right toes under and begin to extend and straighten that right leg back. So your left hand and left knee are just where we started, and we're extending our right arm forward and our right leg back. Now, if you'd like to, you can advance this by raising that right thigh up to hip height. Just try not to open your hips. Keep your hips level. A little bit of a balancing strength pose here. Keep that right foot flexed so the toes and the knee faces down. Neck is nice and long. Slight tuck of the chin. Staying for one more breath. And exhale, gently release that right knee down. Place that right hand back underneath your shoulder. We'll switch to the other side. So now extend those left fingertips out. Curl the left toes under, straighten that left leg back. You have the option to stay here, or if you'd like, flex the left toes and raise that left thigh up to hip height, raising the foot off the mat. And keeping the shoulders and the pelvis facing down. Slight tuck of the chin. Stay for one more breath. And exhale, release the knee down. Release that left arm back underneath your shoulder. Let's bring the big toes to touch. Separate the knees out wide. Send your hips back toward your heels. Let's come into our first child's pose here. So hips back towards the heels, forehead down to the block or to a mat. Have your arms extended out in front of you. Now I'll add a little bit more of a shoulder opener here. So clasp your fingers together. Once your fingers are clasped together, start to move your elbows farther out from you. You'll start to feel a stretch in the sides of your torso. With your fingers clasped, start to bend your elbows so that your thumbs come back towards the top of your neck. Don't worry, your wrists don't need to touch. You can keep them separate if it allows you to add a little more range here. But now you can start to walk those elbows a little bit farther forward, inch by inch or millimeter by millimeter. You'll start to feel this in your triceps, in your shoulders, maybe in your pectoral muscles. It really allows you to create some more length in both sides of the body. Stay for one more breath. Gently release the arms, release the clasp of the fingers, and then switch the clasp. So whichever finger you had on top, switch it up. And we'll repeat that. So gently bend the elbows again. Bring the thumbs to the back of the neck. Or they can hover over your head if they don't quite reach. But again, if you have it in you, you can start to walk those elbows a little bit farther forward, trying to still keep your hips as close to your heels as you can. Really creating length in both sides of the body. Stay for one more breath here. And exhale. Gently release the arms. Release the clasp of the fingers. We'll start to send our hips up. Raise your forehead up. Come back into your tabletop. So knees come back underneath the hips. Feet separate the hips with distance. So arms are underneath the shoulders. Now we just did the thread the needle where we send our arm up and underneath. We're going to do that same thing, but we're below the shoulder this time. So starting with the right arm, right palm out. So we'll inhale as we raise that right arm up to the sky. And exhale, twist, send that right arm under. This time as you lower that right shoulder, it comes to the ground. We're staying here. So release the right side of your head to the mat. Get nice and comfortable here. Now begin to walk those left fingertips out so that left arm is straight. And just as we were before in our tabletop, you now have the option to add your leg. If you'd like, curl those left toes under and begin to straighten that left leg back behind you. Last option, once you have your balance, if you'd like, raise that left thigh up to hip height. Keep flexing those left toes. I know you can't see them, but make sure the toes and the knee faces down. Just stay for one more breath here. And if that knee's up, gently release the knee down. Walk that hand back underneath your shoulder. Inhale as you lift that right arm up to the sky. And exhale, release that right arm down to the mat. All right. Come back into your tabletop. We'll switch to the other side. So left arm out, shoulder height, palm down. Inhale as you lift that left arm to the sky. Exhale as you twist, send the left arm underneath, left palm up. So we'll gently release that left arm down to the mat. Left side of the head releases. Now walk those right fingertips out so that right arm straightens. You can stay here, or if you'd like, curl the right toes under. Extend and straighten that right leg back. Final option, if you'd like, you can raise the right thigh up to hip height, flexing the right toes, really pressing back through that right heel if that leg is lifted. Stay for one more breath wherever you are. And exhale, gently release that right knee down. Walk those right fingertips back underneath your shoulder. Press yourself back up. Raise that left arm up one last time. And exhale, release them down. All right, let's curl the toes under. Lift the hips up and back. Come into our first downward facing dog. It's our first downward dog, so you can begin to pedal out your legs, take your dog for a walk. If down dog is just too much for you today, just stay in your tabletop. You can still pedal out your legs that way as well. Maybe you lift one leg, lift the other. Take another couple of breaths, just moving here. All right, come back to stillness. Feet or hips width distance. Let's inhale as we gaze forward. Bend the knees, exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Let's inhale, halfway lift, and exhale, forward fold. So stay in your forward fold, bend your knees as much as you need to, and let's place both hands on our lower back. So the fingers are down, the palms are on our lower back. Press down through your feet. We'll gently rise, but keep those palms on your lower back. Open the shoulders up and back, draw the elbows towards each other. So press the feet down and start to rise up to standing, just nice and slow. Keep drawing the elbows in towards each other. Once you come up to standing, keep those shoulders nice and open and broad, but you can release the arms down to the sides, palms face forward. Take a nice deep inhale and exhale. All right, let's keep moving. So let's inhale the arms up overhead, palms face each other. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms to the mat. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back into plank. Lower your knees down, shift the torso forward, bend the elbows back and lower all the way to the mat. Uncurl the back toes, press the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, lift your head up, chest up into your baby cobra. Keep drawing those shoulders down your back, releasing that tailbone down towards your heels. Staying for one more breath. And exhale, gently release. Curl the toes under. Press yourself up through tabletop. Lift the hips up and back into your downward facing dog. All right, we'll stay in our down dog for 3 breaths. Take a peek at those elbow creases. Where are they facing? Are they facing back? Maybe you can start to firm those triceps in so the elbow creases start to face more forward. Gently press down to the base of each finger and each palm. And press those heels back and down towards the mat. Stay for one more breath in your down dog. And now inhale as you gaze forward. Bend the knees, exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Let's inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale the arms out and up overhead. Exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Let's keep going. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Plant your palms. Step your right foot back, step your left foot back. We're coming into plank. We're staying here for a couple breaths. Again, notice those elbow creases. Where are they? If you bend your elbows, do your elbows go out? Or if you bend them, do they go back? And you tell me, which way do you think is more ideal here? You can always drop your knees down if you need to in your plank. We're holding for one more breath. Now everyone drop to your knees. Bend your elbows back. Where do your elbow creases need to be in order to bend your elbows back? Shift your torso forward as you lower to the mat. Uncurl those back toes. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. And inhale, lift up into your baby cobra. Keep those bottom ribs on the mat. Broaden those collarbones. Draw the shoulders down your back. Send the heart forward as you draw the toes away from your body. One more breath. And exhale, gently release the forehead down. Let's curl those toes under. Press up into your tabletop. And lift your hips up and back into your downward facing dog. Now from here, step the right foot forward to the top of the mat. If it doesn't make it there in the first step, just take a couple steps. Right foot should be in between both hands, but on the right side of the mat. Now drop that left heel down. We'll come into our warrior two feet here. So the left heel drops, the left toes are slightly forward. You may need to heel toe the right foot to the center of the mat so you have heel to arch alignment. Right arm comes to the inside edge. Press down through your feet. Lift the left arm up and raise the torso up into your warrior two. I'll turn so I can face you. So in your warrior two, check in. Make sure that right knee is over that right ankle. Arms are shoulder height, palms face down. Gaze is over those right fingertips. Let's inhale as we straighten that front leg, raise the arms up overhead. And exhale, release back down into your warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, release, warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Arms overhead. Exhale, warrior two. One more time. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Now we'll hold this for a couple breaths. Here's a little trick I want you to notice. So our palms are down right now. Go ahead and flip your palms up and really try to open those shoulders. Do you know what if this is external or internal rotation at the shoulders? This is external rotation, in case you haven't guessed. Hi, Coney. Yes, it is. Hi, Coney. Okay, so keep that with your arms. Notice your palms are up towards the ceiling. Now, I want you to turn just your forearms down. So you're rotating just your forearms, set your palms face down. So now it's like your forearms are in an internal rotation, but your shoulders are still in that external rotation. That's what we're looking for in our warrior two. So we're staying for one more breath here. And now release the left arm down behind. Right arm, right palm comes up. Raise that right arm up. Let's reverse our warrior. Keep that front knee bent. And exhale, spiral both arms forward and down to the mat. Come up on that back heel. Send that right foot to meet the back foot. You can stay up or drop to your knees as you shift your torso forward. Bend the elbows back, lower all the way to the mat. Uncurl the back toes, tops of the feet to the mat. Inhale, lift up into your baby cobra. Maybe you'd like to advance by starting to straighten your arms into half cobra or full cobra, keeping your knees and the tops of the feet on the mat. One more breath here. And gently release the forehead down. Let's curl the toes under. You can press yourself up all the way into down dog or come through tabletop first. Whatever works for you. We'll switch to the other side now. So this time lift your left leg up. Step that left foot forward to the top of the mat. Release the right heel down. Make sure the right toes are still slightly forward of the heel. And maybe you need to heel toe this left foot so you have heel to arch alignment. Left foot comes to the inside edge. Raise the right arm up, and on your inhale, press through your feet, lift your torso and arms up. Settle in for a moment. Keep that left knee on that left ankle. Arms shoulder height, palms face down. Gaze over those left fingertips. Now let's inhale as we straighten that front leg, both arms overhead. Exhale, release down into our warrior two. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, warrior two. Are you already thinking about your arms? Inhale as you raise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, raise and straighten. Exhale, warrior two. So stay here, settle in. And again, place or revolve your arms so that the palms face up towards the sky. So again, notice how this really opened your shoulders in that external rotation. Keep that. Keep the awareness at your shoulders. And while you keep that, try to just internally rotate the forearms. So we're not revolving the whole arms down. We're keeping the shoulders in that external rotation. Just revolve the forearms so the palms face down. So stay for one more breath here in your warrior two. Now release that right arm down. Left palm up. Raise the left arm up to the sky in your reverse warrior. Keep that front knee bent. And exhale, spiral both arms forward and down to the mat. Come up on that back heel. Send that left foot to meet the back foot. You can keep your knees down or up as you shift forward. Bend the elbows, lower all the way down to the ground. Uncurl the back toes. Press the tops of the feet into the mat. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Baby cobra, half cobra with the elbows bent, or full cobra. Either way, broaden those collarbones, open the shoulders, draw the shoulder blades down your back. Releasing that tailbone towards the heels. One more breath here. And exhale, gently release the forehead down. Curl the toes under. You can press all the way up into down dog or come through tabletop first. Just stay for a couple breaths in your down dog. Again, maybe you notice those elbow creases. How do your triceps feel? Where are those forearms? Can you think of that same thing, the external rotation at the shoulders, but now your forearms are internally rotating, pressing down towards the mat. Staying for one more breath here. Now inhale as you gaze forward. Bend the knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Let's inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Press your feet down. Inhale, arms out and up, overhead, palms touch. Exhale, hands down through the center and down to the sides. Just take a moment to catch your breath here. I know I need to. All right, arms down to the side. You're still up at the top of your mat. Feet are hips width distance, heels behind those center toes. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Keep those shoulders softened and down as you inhale and raise the arms up overhead. Just the arms, not the shoulders. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to the shins, nice flat back. And exhale, forward fold. Let's plant the palms down. Step the left foot back. Step the right foot back. Lift your hips up and back right into your down dog. Now from here, we'll step that right foot forward again to the top of the mat. Don't worry if you need a couple steps to get there. We're coming back into our warrior two. So we'll drop that left heel down. Left toes are slightly forward. Walk that right foot over to the middle of your mat. Right arm to the inside, press down through the feet, raise the left arm up and inhale up into your warrior two. And we're staying here in our warrior two. So again, external rotation at the shoulders, slight internal rotation at those forearms to have the palms face down. Keep pressing down through that right heel. Press back through the outer edge of that left foot. Soften the shoulders away from the ears. Gazes over those right fingertips. Now this time we're going to internally rotate that left arm. So your back arm internally rotates. Thumb comes down, pinky up. Bend the elbow. And then start to straighten the arms behind you. Maybe the back of the hand comes to the lower back. Maybe it stretches a little bit further so where you can touch that right thigh. Then the right palm comes up. And raise that right arm up to the sky. So we're in our reverse warrior, but this time we're adding a little bind with that left arm. Keep pressing down through that right heel. Stay for one more breath. Exhale, lift back up into your warrior two. Send both arms straight out. And let's spiral both arms forward and down. Lift up on that back heel. Send that right foot to meet the back foot. Knees down or up. Shift forward. Bend the elbows. Lower all the way to the mat. Uncurl the back toes. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Staying just for a breath here. And exhale, releasing back down. Curl the toes under. Lift up either into down dog or come through tabletop first. And we'll switch to the other side. So now lift that left leg up. Send it to the top of the mat. Drop that right heel down. Right toes are slightly forward. Heel toe the left foot into the middle of the mat so you have the heel to arch alignment. Left foot to the inside edge. Raise the right arm up and on your inhale, press through the feet. Raise back up into your warrior two. Make sure this left knee tracks over that left ankle. Arms are shoulder height, palms face down. External rotation at that shoulder and internal at the forearms. This is going to change your warrior two. You're never going to look at it the same now, right? Keep pressing back through that right heel. Press down through that left heel. Keep softening the shoulders. Gazes over those left fingertips. Stay for one more breath. We'll add the bind. So we'll internally rotate this right arm, the back arm, thumb down, pinky up. Bend the elbow. Back of the hand comes to the lower back. If you want to go further, start to straighten the arm. Maybe that right arm starts to tuck on that left thigh, or maybe it stays at your lower back. But left palm comes up, raise it up to the sky, and add your reverse warrior. So keeping that left knee bent, now you're side leaning over that right thigh. Maybe you look up at those left fingertips. One more breath. And exhale, release back down into your warrior two. And spiral both arms forward and down. Come up on that back heel. Send that left foot to meet the back foot. Let's shift our hips back to downward facing dog. Staying for a couple breaths in our down dog. You can always move to child's pose if you need a break. We got a break coming up in just a couple minutes. Remember, I told you I wanted to move and practice today, so that's what we're doing. Take one more deep breath in your down dog. Keep sending the chest back towards your thighs. And now inhale as you gaze forward. Bend the knees. Exhale, walk or step to the top of the mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice long spine. Exhale, forward fold. Press your feet into the mat. Inhale the arms out and up overhead. And exhale, hands down through center and down to the sides. Let's keep moving. Inhale, arms up overhead, soften the shoulders. Exhale, hinge forward, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice long spine. And exhale, forward fold. Keep your left foot forward. Extend and straighten the right leg back. Let's drop the right heel down, coming into a warrior two pose one last time here. So we'll heel toe that left foot over. Right toes are slightly forward, left arm to the inside, right arm up to the sky. Press the feet down, inhale, lift up into your warrior two. We've been here a bunch of times, right? We'll make this one fun now. Okay, so we'll internally rotate that back arm again. So thumb down, pinky up. Bend that right elbow, back of the right hand to the lower back. If you want to straighten that arm a little bit so that comes into that left thigh, you have the opportunity to do that. Now here's where we'll turn the left palm up. And as we lift the left arm up to the sky, we'll straighten that front leg. So maybe you can keep that bind. Maybe your hand is still at your low back, but we're straightening. So we have both legs straightened here. We're adding our reverse warrior with the straight leg. Now keep the leg straight. Keep the torso and that top arm just as it is. And then start to lean forward, sending that left arm forward. And then the left arm comes down, either to your thigh, the inside, the outside, or if you have a block, you can place a block to the inside edge or the outside edge of that front foot. This is our bound triangle. And once you're nice and stable, try to open that right shoulder out a little bit more. Keep pressing down through the big toe of that left foot. Slightly bend that left knee if you tend to hyperextend here. Keep pressing back through the outer right foot. Try to stack those shoulders a little bit more, really opening up the chest, gazes up towards the ceiling if you can. Stay for one more breath. And exhale, gaze comes down. Release the bind, bend the knee, and send both arms forward. Come up on that back heel. Place the block off to the side if you have it, but keep it nearby for side number two coming up. Send that left foot to meet the back foot. Go through your vinyasa, knees down or up, shifting the torso forward. Bend the elbows back, lowering down. Curl the back toes under. Press your feet down. Inhale, lift up into your back bend. Just for a breath here. Exhale, gently release. Curl the toes under. Press yourself up through down dog. Come through tabletop if you need to. All right, let's lift that left leg up. Send the left foot to the top of the mat. Oh, I'm sorry. We got to do the other side. Send the right foot to the top of the mat. With the right foot to the top, we release our left heel down, left toe slightly forward, and heel toe that right foot over slightly. Right arm to the inside. Press down through your feet. Inhale, left arm up to the sky. Raise your torso up into your warrior two. Settle in here for a moment. Make sure you're pressing back through that left heel. Arms are at shoulder height, palms face down. External rotation at those shoulders. Gazes over those right fingertips. Now we'll internally rotate that back arm again. Thumb down, pinky up. Bend the elbow. Bring the back of the hand to the lower back. It can stay there, or you can start to straighten it. Maybe you grab the inside edge of that right thigh. Right palm turns up. As you raise that right arm up overhead, start to straighten that front leg. So both legs straighten here. Staying for one more breath in your reverse warrior. Keeping everything just as it is, you're just going to hinge from the hips forward, send the hips back, torso and arm come forward and down. Then you release that right arm down, either to your thigh, to the ground, or if you're using your block, you can place your block underneath that right hand as well. Keep pressing down through that right big toe and start to open the chest up. Roll that left shoulder up and back. Try to stack the shoulders. Keep pressing back through that outer left foot. Try to roll this right thigh in and under. Slight bend in the knee if you tend to hyperextend. Let's stay here for 2 breaths. Maybe a longer hold than last time. That's all right. Close enough. 1 more breath. And gently release that left shoulder down. Release the bind. Bend that front knee. Both palms to the top of the mat. Come up on that left heel. Send that right foot back. Our last chaturanga here. So knees down or up. Bend the elbows lower all the way to the mat. Uncurl the back toes. Last back bend. Inhale up just for a breath. And exhale, gently release. Now stay low just for a moment here. And we're just going to push all the way back into child's pose. So bring the big toes to touch right now and start to press yourself up and then send your hips back toward your heels. Come right into your child's pose, releasing that forehead down to the mat. I'll give you one more option here. If your shoulders are feeling good and feeling a little bit open, we'll add a prayer pose in our child's pose. So extend your arms back. Release the backs of your hands alongside your ankles. So your arms are back, hands by your ankles. Now you can stay here if you just want to hang out in your child's pose. Nothing wrong with that. Otherwise, we'll come into our prayer pose behind our back. So lift the arms up off the mat. And then what you'll do is bring the tips of your fingers together and then try to bring your palms together. So the pinky side edge rests on your lower back here. If you want another modification, you can just grab both elbows, keep them on your back. Or if you like the traditional, clasp the fingers behind your back, bring the wrists together, straighten the arms, lift them off your back. So you have a couple different options. If you're coming into prayer pose, start by bringing the tips of the fingers together, and then as you walk your hands up your back, maybe your wrists start to come closer together. You'll start to feel your shoulders open up a little bit here. You can play around with it, see which one you prefer. You have your prayer pose, you can grab opposite elbows, you can clasp your fingers. See which one works for you today. It's our last little homage to our shoulders. And stay for 2 more breaths here. One last breath. Always have an option to make your child's pose a little more active if you'd like. With these options, go ahead and release your hands gently to the sides. Keep them back behind you. Rest the backs of the hands, backs of the palms to the ground. Let those shoulders hang nice and heavy. We've been drawing the shoulder blades together a lot for class, so just let them just fall heavy, protract away down towards the mat. Just 2 more breaths here in your child's pose. One more breath. Now gently begin to extend your arms forward, raise your forehead up, lift your hips up off your heels. Send the legs off to the side. Come down to a seat with your legs out in front of you. Adding a little seated twist here. Start with both legs, hips width distance, knees slightly bent. Bend this left knee in towards your chest. Option 1, keep this left foot to the inside edge of that right knee. Option 2, bring it to the outside edge of that right knee. We'll add a closed twist. So release the left fingertips behind you. Just use them just as stability. Try not to bear all the weight on those left fingertips. Raise the right arm up to the sky. On your inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to your left. Maybe release the right elbow to the outside edge of that left knee. You can use it as a gentle lever to advance your twist here. Just keep flexing those right toes so the toes and the knee faces up towards the sky and pressing down through that left big toe. The last thing you can turn here is your neck to look over that left shoulder. Again, if you had to, you can raise those left fingertips up off the mat. Stay for 2 more breaths here. One more breath. And gently release back to center. Both arms to the side. Extend that left leg forward. Feet or hips with distance. Let's switch to the other side. Start with the knees slightly bent. Right knee draws into your chest. Option 1, keep it to the inside. Option 2, right foot to the outside of the left knee. Now we'll release the right fingertips behind us. Inhale as you raise the left arm up overhead. And exhale as you start to twist to your right. Maybe you release that left elbow to the outside edge of that right knee. And you inhale as you lengthen. Exhale as you twist. Again, try to lighten the weight off those right fingertips, just there for stability. Keep flexing those left toes so them and the knee face up towards the ceiling, pressing down through that right big toe. 2 more breaths here. Maybe you turn the neck to look over that right shoulder. 1 more breath. And gently release back to center. Let's release both legs out in front of us. We'll add our Dandasana pose. This is our staff pose, and usually when you take a look at it, it doesn't look like much is going on, but if you're doing it right, you'll definitely feel it. So release both hands beside your hips, fingers facing forward. Start to straighten your arms. We're not adding any pressure yet. Just start flexing your toes. Make sure your knees and your feet face up towards the sky. Now create a nice long spine. So root down through your sitting bones, raise the crown of your head to the ceiling, up to the sky. Now you're keeping your sit bones on the mat, but now with your straight arms, start to press yourself down into the mat. Press your knees down, press your calves down, press your hips down, press your hands down, and start to lift yourself up without lifting yourself up. So that's what I mean where it kind of looks like you're doing nothing here, but if you're really doing it, you'll definitely feel it. So the arms are definitely engaged. The legs are engaged here. Almost all the muscles in your body are engaged or not moving. Stay for 1 more breath here. And exhale, gently release. Whew. All right, let's shift our hips forward, bend our knees. We'll lower onto our backs. You have the option to clasp around your shins, your thighs, or arms forward as you gently lower. Try to challenge yourself, go as slowly as possible. And once you're on your back, let's heel toe those feet, hips with distance, heels underneath the knees. Fingertips should just be able to graze the backs of your ankles. And just keep those arms down to the side. So bend the right knee and hug it in towards your chest. And then open up that right knee and release the outside of the right knee to that left thigh. Now from here, we'll add a bridge pose with our right thigh opened up here. So both arms down to the side, palms face down. Press that left foot into the mat. And on your inhale, lift your hips up, your pelvis up, and your chest up. Press that right thigh away. Keep pressing the shoulders and the triceps down. Maybe you can lift a little bit higher. Staying for 1 more breath. And exhale, gently release. Top of the spine, low back is the last to arrive. Now from here, we'll thread the needle. Send the right hand through and clasp around either the back of your left thigh, or if you want to bring the left foot off the mat, grab behind that left shin. And wherever you're grabbing, try to keep your shoulders rooted. So they might come up when you first grab. Keep the back of your head and the shoulders rooted. That's what's really important here. Keep that right foot flexed. And you can stay here, or if you'd like, you can straighten that left leg and clasp behind that left thigh. Left foot flexed as the bottom of that foot faces up towards the ceiling. Keep trying to draw that left thigh in as you press the right thigh away from your body. Staying for one more breath here. And wherever you are, gently release that foot back down to the mat. Release the clasp of your hands. Release that right knee. Both feet come back down to the mat, hips width distance. We'll switch to the other side. So draw the left knee in toward your chest. Open that left thigh out. Outside of the left foot comes to the top of that right thigh. Both arms down to the sides. Press the palms into the mat. Press the right foot into the mat. And on your inhale, lift your hips up. Pelvis up, chest up. Into your half bridge pose here. Keep extending that left thigh away from your body. Maybe lift up a little bit higher. Keep that right glute engaged. Pressing the triceps and the shoulders down. Stay for one more breath. Exhale, gently roll from the top of the spine, low back, last to arrive. All right, now we'll thread the needle. So we'll send the left arm through, grab either behind the right thigh or behind the right shin. If that foot comes off the mat, you're flexing those right toes, but keep the shoulders rooted wherever you are. Keep them rooted on the mat as well as the back of your head. You can stay here if this is enough, or if you'd like to advance, begin to straighten that right leg and clasp behind that right thigh. Bottom of the right foot faces up towards the sky, flexing both feet. And now you're drawing that right thigh in towards your shoulder as you draw the left thigh away from your body. Stay here for one more breath. And gently release. Right foot down, release that left foot down. Bring the knees to touch, heel to the feet out to the width of the mat. And just gently let your knees rock from side to side. Next time both knees are on the left side, just let them fall. Adding a little spinal twist here. Extend both arms out to a T shape or field goal post with the palms facing up. If you'd like to advance, you can place the outside edge of that left ankle on top of the right knee. Adds a little more stretch in that right thigh. Either way, keep the right shoulder rooted. You can turn your neck to gaze over those right fingertips. Stay for 2 breaths here. Gently release that left ankle off the right knee if you have it. Gazes back up to center. Bring both knees back up to center, and then release them to the right side this time. So your feet are still out to the width of the mat. Let your knees fall off to the right. Arms are still spread, palms face up. You have the option to place the outside edge of that right ankle on top of that left knee. Keep that left shoulder rooted. You can turn your neck to look over those left fingertips. Stay for 2 breaths here. And gently release that ankle from on top of the knee. Send both knees back up, gazes back up towards the ceiling. Heel to the feet back to hips width distance. Separate the knees. Hug those knees into your chest. One last squeeze here. Raise the back of your head and the shoulders off your mat. Give a nice full squeeze here. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Extend both legs straight. Extend the arms overhead. Point the toes and stretch the fingertips away from the body. One last full body stretch here. So stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, let's release. Arms come down to the sides, palms face up. Let the knees and the feet fall off to the side. And just start to settle into your Shavasana pose, final pose of the practice today. Just release any last little bit of tension you may have. You can release your toes, soften your hips, relax your jaw. And your gaze can soften or your eyes can close completely. And release any last little control you have over your breath. Just be. And begin to bring some awareness back into your body. You can wiggle your fingers and your toes. Rotate your wrists and your ankles. Switch directions in those rotations. And come back to stillness for one last breath here on your back. Now gently begin to bend your knees as you roll over to one side of your body. Let your top arm rest on your bottom. Let your top knee rest on your bottom knee. Just stay for a breath here on your side. And keep your eyes softened or your gaze closed as you use your top arm to press yourself up to a comfortable cross-legged seat to complete your practice today. As you come into your seat, you can place the palms on top of your knees. Palms can face up, or you can bring your hands into the center of your chest. Let's all take a nice deep inhale in together. Through the mouth, exhale. Thank you for joining me for practice today. The light and love in me acknowledges and honors the light and love in each one of you. Thank you. Peace. All right. Thank you all so much for joining me for practice today. My apologies for going over a couple minutes. I think I was just too excited to get so many things done in practice today. I love these shoulder and chest openers here. So I hope you enjoyed. Our next practice will be Friday at 7 p.m. That will be a level 2. To be honest, this was a little more of an advanced level 1. I'll call it a level 1.5. But level 2, we'll ramp it up a little bit. I have some more fun, challenging poses for that practice as well. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the chat or the comments. My info to reach me is also in the video description as well. I'm starting to talk more about restarting teaching either outdoors or indoors in classes. So my schedule might change within the next couple weeks. Stay tuned to my Instagram. I'll announce updates there and on classes here if you'd like to know. So I'll try and keep you up to date on that. Otherwise, if you'd like to donate, that donation link is always in the description to help fund or support racial and social justice. Appreciate you all so much for joining me. Again, my name is Daniel with Daniel Lee Yoga. Please enjoy the rest of your week, and I'll see you next time in practice. Thank you. Peace. Thank you, Diana. Have a great one. Oh, here's Coney. Do you want to say hi? Anyone who's still on? All right, take care, everyone.